Hello, and welcome to the movie universe. I'm your host, Movie Fan. And today, I'm playing Super Godzilla. A fun game for the Super Nintendo, but it can be a complicated game to master. Fortunately, I figured out how to beat it, so just stick with me, I'll show you how it's done. Basically, you're Godzilla. You control the monster. That blue dot below, that's you. The screen up there is really just for show. And just looking at the first screen, you can immediately tell that the graphics are great. It's just what you'd expect Godzilla to look like. And it's actually quite fun. However, it does have some issues. For instance, one, if you destroy any of the buildings, you get hurt. I know, that makes absolutely no sense because Godzilla crushes buildings all the time in the movies. Why should that hurt him? And another weird thing is, scientists are basically controlling Godzilla. You're just the one who's controlling him. But yet, the military is still shooting at you. I have no idea what sense that makes. If humans are controlling Godzilla, then why is the army shooting at him? Now, as you'd expect, Godzilla shows up so he can fight the monsters. The annoying thing is you have to walk over there to get it. And you don't have a map screen to work with other than what you got below, what you're seeing there. I'm going to show you map screens as we go along. I'm on the first level, so here's the first map screen. As you can tell, I have to go all the way to the right to face the first boss. And when you finally get there, you fight the monster. In this case, it's Ghidorah. Now, before I go any further, I want to tell you something. The way you fight is really weird. Now, I know we've all played legendary games like Mortal Kombat, Street Fighter 2, all that good stuff. But you're going to have to put that out of your mind because it's not the same category. Now, I know a lot of people are aware that the Angry Video Game Nerd covered this already in his Godzilla episode, but he did it wrong. Now, what I mean by that is, when he talked about the controls, he was wrong. It's possible he screwed up, so I'm not going to harp on that. I'm just going to tell you how it really works. He claimed that after you punch, you use the L or R buttons to select your attack. That is not how it works. I will tell you that right now. Here's how it works. You go up there, and you punch him with a Y, you step back, and whatever attack you want to go with, you push the Y button again, and then you attack. That's how it works. So, what did the L and the R buttons do? Well, here's what they do. The R button selects special power-ups, and you push the D-pad to scroll through it, and the L button selects what you're going to power up with, or escape. That is what the L and the R buttons really do. As we already noticed, first I'm fighting Ghidorah, legendary monster. And believe it or not, as you fight, you see all kinds of cool graphics to every move that you do, which is definitely one of the best features of this game. In a way, it's kind of like watching a Godzilla film. The only difference is you're the one in control. Most of the time. We find out that aliens are behind this. Okay, we're going to move on to the next level now. I'll put it on the map screen. Now, we have to go fight this monster, but believe it or not, there's something important we have to do first. We have to destroy the mothership. That's very important. Because if you don't destroy the mothership, that monster's going to warp somewhere else, and you'll never catch up to him. And you are on a time limit. And often I find destroying the mothership really helps out a lot, because there are so many levels where you're walking through trying to get to that monster, trying to get those power-ups, and all of a sudden, boom, out of nowhere, this happens. And it happens so much in so many levels that it's become so tedious. I run like hell. They keep coming back. I kill them. It slows them down, but they keep coming back. Best solution? Destroy the mothership. Once you destroy the mothership, they don't come back for this level. Seriously, they really don't. As for this, it's twofold. It's because of the annoying spaceships, and you want to get to the monster. We get to the monster, and he's pretty quick, and we find out it's... Mecha Godzilla. Now things start getting a little complicated because you can't use your atomic breath on Mechagodzilla, or else he's going to use his deflector shield and then shoot a big missile at you. There is a way to use your atomic breath, but it has to be what they call hyper breath. Basically, it's just more powerful and it shoots really fast. That's the gist of it. Fighting like this is not easy because often you could punch forward and then you'll walk back and you'll end up getting what you don't want because you know they're going to use it to hurt you. And now for our next one, we have to rescue a kidnapped scientist. The aliens kidnapped him because he has a way to turn Godzilla into Super Godzilla. Alright, on the map I've indicated where he is right there with the orange arrow. So we have to go there. And I'll tell you this, you need to tear down these electric fences because it hurts like you wouldn't believe. It's not like tearing down buildings, so you have to get the terminals. If you don't get the terminals, you are going to get fried. Watch this. Now I know the reason behind that. In the movie King Kong vs. Godzilla, they decided to give him a weakness, that he was weak to electricity and electric shock. They haven't done that since, to the best of my knowledge, except for this game. So that's why electric shock really hurts him. Okay, we got the scientist, now we're gonna go fight the monster. And the monster is Bolanaiti. Forgive me if I mispronounced his name, but that's the only way I can pronounce it. And I'll tell you this, he is tough. You find that he's actually pretty quick for a big guy. And when he shoots his acid at you, look out. His acid does more damage than Godzilla's atomic breath. And here's what really sucks. You can't tackle him. He'll just tackle you and it'll hurt you. Okay, now we move on to the next monster, Batra. Batra is probably the most annoying one because there's not one Batra, but two. One is Batra already out, and the other one's a cocoon. You gotta defeat the first Batra, and then race all the way to the other side to get the cocoon before it hatches. And there is a method to this. I'll walk you through it. First, walk on land. Trust me. Never go in the water. I know it's natural to want to go from the first Batra to the next at the very end, but don't do it. It's not worth it. You move so slow in there, you'll never make it in time. Believe me, I've tried. The second thing, destroy the mothership. Trust me, you got to destroy the mothership. If you don't destroy the mothership now, then after you defeat Batra and you try walking to the cocoon, those ships are gonna keep popping up like you wouldn't believe. They'll slow you down no matter how hard you try, and you'll never make it. So stay on land and destroy the mothership. After you do that, go fight Batra. Now when you go fight Batra, you gotta get your fighting spirit up. That's the blue line right there. I know I should have mentioned that earlier, but Truth be told, half the time I've been ignoring the thing, because it doesn't make any sense. Basically, when you got it all the way up, you can use Hyper Breath. And this is what it looks like. The hard part is getting Hyper Breath and not Atomic Breath, because Atomic Breath, it's not fast enough to get Batra. Hyper Breath is. And the bad thing is, that's the only thing you can use. Yeah, you cannot use anything else. And you can't just choose the Hyper Breath. It's got to come up and hopefully you get it. Okay, you destroyed Batra, you go all the way down this map. To make things easier, I would say just follow this black line that I put on this map here. That's the best route there is to the cocoon. Trust me, you'll get there in no time if you follow that line. And now for the final two monsters. For this, you need to become Super Godzilla. Once again, looking at the map, you see these three S's right here. Get them. You gotta get them. Once you get them, you'll become Super Godzilla. And here at this point, I would suggest there's only one thing to do. Just go through the buildings. Don't let that stop you, because you're too powerful. It's not going to hurt you. And besides, you got to hurry up before your energy drains out. You go there, and you're fighting Mecha Ghidorah. And already you're becoming accustomed to how awesomely powerful Super Godzilla really is. How awesome is that? And after you defeat Mecha Ghidorah, you have one more monster to face. Bagan. Once again, I may have mispronounced that, so forgive me. The bad thing here is, you just drained all your energy when you fought Mecha Ghidorah. And you need to become Super Godzilla. Trust me, you cannot fight Bagan as Godzilla. You will not win. I can guarantee that. However, you can refuel your energy. You have to go to the research lab, which is right here. Now you see it on my map screen as I'm going down there. That's where you need to go. You just go straight down from fighting Mecha Ghidorah, and you'll see that orange building right there. Go there immediately. You won't find it on the map I put on earlier because that pops out of nowhere. And I'll tell you this, you need to go there fast, because there's a good chance that Bagan could get there before you and destroy it. Just go there as fast as you can. If you see tanks and stuff to stomp on, do it. Because that'll save you a lot of time tearing through buildings. And now we're finally to the monster himself. He finally reveals his true form, and it is a battle of the century. All right. Now that he's defeated, you get this awesome ending showing Godzilla going back home. Super Godzilla. Totally fun game, totally worth playing. You just need to invoke a little strategy. And most importantly, a lot of trial and error and a lot of patience. This is Movie Fan, signing off.